Good morning and welcome to Wake Up West Orange.
Morning.
As you can see, Tim is not here. He's out of town. We're also giving Angie the week off as she is finishing up this semester at school. And so it's very convenient to have special guests, not just guests, special guests today, very distinguished people in our midst.
And we're happy to be here at your convenience.
Yes, exactly. But we got Frank Foreman, not the famous baseball player, but Frank Foreman, the lead minister at New Horizons Christian Church that shares this campus, and we share many partnerships together, as well as Dave Smith. And so we were talking about just how distinguished each of us are, and people we know, and how famous each of us are. So I will start as introducing these guys, which most of our churches has met you guys and sees you guys around and knows you. But I am from the lineage of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Queen Elizabeth. Now, keep in mind, it was George Washington Tips, Thomas Jefferson Tips, and Queen. That's how they named them back then.
Okay.
So what about you guys? Distinguish yourselves to our viewers.
I am from the lineage. Some of you, may not know that I'm from a celebrity family, but George Foreman is my uncle.
Wow, George Foreman.
Yeah.
The boxer.
Yes, he was a
Heavyweight
boxer.
world champion.
He's retired now. He was a boxer. No, not that. No, not that. My dad has a younger brother named George.
Well, of course.
Yeah, and at one time he worked in a warehouse where he unpacked boxes.
So he was a boxer.
Moved boxes and stuff like that.
How was he on the grill?
You know what? Probably pretty good.
The George Foreman grill.
Yeah.
I
I had one of those in college,
Yeah.
pull that thing out in the dorm room and cook it up. But just like we have the famous Tim Duncan here at West Orange.
Sure, love that guy.
Not the guy that dunks the basketball worth millions of dollars, the more famous one.
Gotcha.
So, what about you, Dave?
Well, I have no famous lineage. I'm a Smith, so clearly I got no idea who I'm tied to. I got Adam and Noah from the Bible. I know I go back to them eventually.
Right.
But no, I'd say I had a brush with greatness in middle school. I played football at Creston Middle School, and I was able to sack Jeff George. Some of you are going, who?
Yeah.
He was an NFL star of sorts, and I sacked him 3 times in a middle school football game. Now, I would have loved at some point in his NFL career, he had a tough game, and he said, "Yeah, it was tough out there today, but nothing like this kid back in middle school that hit me 3 times." So, other than that, my brush with greatness, I did sing the national anthem at Super Bowl 36.
How about that?
I also did it at 37, 30. I pretty much sing it every year. I stand up in my living room and sing along with them when I do it. So I mean, you're welcome to do that as well and use that.
You had me hooked. I was like, can we go find YouTube and look that up?
That's right.
Or not.
Yeah, but
or not.
But
there's some.
How about this year at the Super Bowl?
I will
you
sing
video it, upload it to YouTube.
I will.
It will go viral.
For you, I'll do that, Brian. I'll record myself singing the national anthem at the Super Bowl this year.
You're a true patriot. I mean, you're no
I'm
George
not.
Washington's host.
I'm more of a Dolphin
You're a
fan, not a Patriot fan.
Yeah, how are the Dolphins doing this year?
Solid.
Solid. What's your record?
8-5.
8-5. What's the Titans' record?
Well, we haven't gotten to play the same schedule as the Titans did. We don't have an easy division like
Right,
the Titans,
yeah,
but that's
Titans are 9-3. So we're doing 9-4. I think I missed it. It's 9-4, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't really
It's
care.
9-4.
I don't really care.
Most don't, especially down here.
All right.
So
So are we moving on to this at any point?
no.
We're supposed to be
this is what
waking
we
up
do.
West Orange.
I know they're maybe awake or they may have already turned.
Are
it
you
off.
awake yet?
That's right. Turn them off.
Yeah. So let's move more to ministry and our relationships and also. So I'm blessed to get to see Frank and Dave from week to week. They share office spaces here on campus and all. And first time I think I got to know you guys was through serving the homeless. Here in the community, the first Saturday of each month through the Helping Hands Partnership. And so, now we're on the same campus. We share in things like Vacation Bible School together. We've had special worship gatherings together. We had a lot of plans in 2020 that got disrupted, of course. So I guess we could start with that is actually what is happening. We did a combined worship for Christmas Eve last year. Share the plan this year.
Go ahead, Dave.
Me? Okay. Well, we're kind of getting away from the old standard of the Christmas candlelight service because we want to make sure there's opportunities for people to have distance. And so we've decided to have a campfire Christmas Eve service. We'll be gathering.
Bring your own campfire.
No, we'll provide the campfire, but they can bring their own chair. They're welcome to do that. And we're going to have a time of worship, just singing some Christmas carols around the fire. And nothing better than just sitting around the fire, singing along. So we're going to enjoy doing that. Maybe have some devotional thoughts and a couple other fun activities. We might even do some s'mores. We'll have some individually prepared s'more packets. Or you can bring your own s'more stuff. If you want to bring your own roasting stick or something like that, please feel free to do that. But being out in the field around the campfire, there's plenty of room for people to spread out and feel comfortable and share in that time. So we want to invite everybody to come and be a part of that. It's going to be on December 24th. That's when we're doing Christmas Eve this year.
That's
really?
That's
Okay.
We decided to do it on December 24th, and we're going to do it
clever.
at 5:30.
5:30. Here on campus, out in the field, going to have the bonfire. I love it. I hope to be able to bring my boys and family, and I'll warn you, my mother-in-law as well. So
Now, in addition to that, we're also planning to have a Christmas Eve service on the Sunday before Christmas.
okay,
Yeah.
and this is different from every other Sunday.
Well, it's the or the Sunday before Christmas.
I love that the entire time I was talking, he was trying to figure out how many
I was
Eves he had to
counting
say.
them, yeah.
He wasn't even paying attention to what I had to say.
Right.
I'm sorry, did you say something?
Eve.
Okay.
All right, it's back to you.
Well, one of the things that I get the most excited about with the Christmas Eve service, and we got to experience it here last year, is that, our friends from the Spanish-speaking church, as well as West Orange and as well as New Horizons, came together to create something that was beautiful and different that we get to experience all the time. And, I love that kind of gathering where we focus on what we have in common rather than the differences that we may have.
Sure. I can say that from my perspective, obviously a lot of family activities are some of my favorite Christmas memories, but last year, Christmas Eve, being able to join in with the folks from the Spanish church, from West Orange and our church, kind of combining together to go through the music and kind of prepare that was really wonderful. I just had a wonderful time. Got to see a lot of talent that I suppose I knew about, but got Carlos on the guitar going to town and Ashley on the bass, and then it was just really enjoyable and I don't leave out Tim. Tim will think I left him out. Tim on the drums. Yeah. So it was really enjoyable just getting to interact with these guys and Juan playing the piano and other singers and stuff. So it was very enjoyable to interact, but also to share in that time of worship together as a whole single group.
And we had a good assembly that night. There was a good participation here in person, and my mother-in-law was here for that and really complimented the service. I know you put most of that together, Dave.
Tim and I, yeah.
You, Tim, and so. But anyway, yeah, that one was a very nice one. One time, I can't remember what it was for now. I feel like there was some specific day, but you and I preached together at the same time. We were up together. What was that?
Was that the introduction to the pregnancy center?
I believe it was. Yeah.
No. We did that too with Belinda, but there was one Sunday where you and I preached together. You remember that?
I don't remember.
I'm sure everybody else remembers it. It was so dynamic.
I blocked it out.
He's thinking Eve.
My therapist said that I don't have to go back and relive these kinds of things.
Oh, goodness, you're too much.
That'll probably be edited out right there.
But, well, one of the things that we've talked about from time to time is that it's somewhat unique that our churches have the almost symbiotic relationship that we have, but the unity that we have, the goodwill, working together on different things, whether it's serving the homeless, Vacation Bible School, teaching Bible classes we've shared in Bible communities and stuff, and that a lot of times churches in the same area become territorial. You're kind of, instead of being kingdom minded, we become more, if you will, self-serving. And so I think it says a lot about New Horizons and your journey, that all the ways that you will do things even to promote. Maybe it's an event that's, quote, our event, if you will, but yet it's like, hey, we just want to see people connect with God And I remember we did some Wednesday nights where you led the singing, when we did those meals together a few years ago. You guys are always willing to just step in, help out, if it's in worship, if it's teaching a class, if it's promoting an event. And so, we've both tried to be pretty intentional about that. But I don't know if y'all want to speak to that or not, but in my experience, especially when I was in Nashville, a lot of churches just do their own thing, and so.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I think that has been a real blessing in this experience of us being on your campus, is that we have gotten to see up close how much you guys, West Orange, not to draw a line between you and us, but we've gotten to experience and to see how much you really love the church. And when we talk about the church, a lot of people would immediately think about their own group. Oh yeah, my church is the group. It's the people that are just like me, that look at things and do things just the way that I do them. But you love the church as the bride of Christ, the big picture of the church. And instead of thinking about all of the little churches that are divided by doctrine or style or tradition or philosophy or their goals or their personalities, we're able to kind of come together and say, man, we just love the church. And there's really only one of those.
That's right. We try to. I think both New Horizons and West Orange, we try to be biblical and non-denominational. It doesn't mean we don't ever fall into the trappings of being humans, but yeah, we try, very, very hard to do that. I think things like the Pregnancy Center has helped. Like from the beginning, that was a mutual partnership of our churches. Not that we're the only churches that support that ministry, but serving the homeless. We weren't the only churches serving the homeless here in Winter Garden through Helping Hands, but we did it on the same day together. Those things help.
Yeah, but you've welcomed us into your house and onto your campus, and you've welcomed others as well. And you've welcomed us to be a part of or to participate in your youth ministries and your children's ministry and your nursery, and as well as some different worship events. And to take that full circle, it kind of goes back to this Christmas Eve opportunity where we have another opportunity to worship together. And, for me, that's one of my favorite things that we'll do all year.
If I can jump in, I think one of the things that I really appreciate, and you mentioned that you've invited us into your house and things like that. And that is the way your staff and your church family, your leadership has made us feel like you're not inviting us into your house. You're inviting us into God's house. That it makes sense that if we have a pregnancy center that needs a place to set up camp, why wouldn't it be here in your church, Lord? If another church another body of believers needs a place to worship, why wouldn't we open that to them for your church? And so one of the things I've really appreciated is how often I've come across and had interaction with people in this church that don't ever make us feel like, well, you guys can stay down there on the end for as long as you need, but you stay out of our way. It's been more of a, if we need something, we've gotten the help for it, and we've tried to, I hope, do the same thing for you all.
Yeah, definitely.
And just think about what a more accurate picture of the New Testament church that is.
Sure.
Because in the New Testament, when you think about the church, it wasn't a church on every street corner that did things differently. And there were all these divisions, and we were all competing for Christian consumers to try to get people to come to our gathering.
Right.
The only thing that really separated the New Testament church was geography. They were one in Christ. They were separated by geography, and they supported, prayed for, and even sent finances to each other. They sent, ministers and God's word from one to the other. And I just love the picture of the New Testament church, where we, are able to come together and to just be a better and a more accurate picture of what that was in the New Testament.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't know kind of how the relationship between these two congregations started, but there's a lot of history, and we don't necessarily talk about all of it now, but like John and Cynthia Wilson that are, quote, members here at West Orange, he served as an elder at New Horizons when it was Pine Hills Christian Church for decades. Bob and Lisa Vandervoort are at our church, but his parents are at New Horizons. Jerry and Cheryl, used to be with Pine Hills Christian, now New Horizons. So there's some history already with the churches, but specifically, there was a lady here that read a book that got you and Alan Mann connected.
Yes.
When Alan was here as a minister. Share that. What was?
I'm terribly embarrassed that I can't think of her name, but she had been involved in a ministry, missions in Japan, and now her, I believe her son is there. And so there was this connection that our church supported that ministry.
Okay.
And one day she showed up in my office and just came in and very lovingly and gracefully, but with a lot of confidence, handed me a book and said that I needed to read it. And it was a book about the history of the Christian church and the Church of Christ, and how they both came from the Restoration movement, and how, we really were one church that divided during a time in our nation when everything was divided.
Yeah, Civil War.
Yeah, and so she encouraged me to read that book, and also gave that book to Alan Mann and encouraged him to read it, and we ended up, coming together and becoming friends, and then, as you mentioned, serving the homeless ministry together, and so it's kind of the beginning of it.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I appreciate you guys being on today, and I'm sure our viewership will go up as a result of you guys being here as word gets out.
It'll go in one direction.
That's right.
So it really can't go anywhere but up. So we typically have somewhere around 38 viewers.
Well, but I'm one of your viewers.
And Dave is
I'm
one
right
of them. So make sure you watch.
I'll watch now.
Go back and watch the archive version.
You wait till my mom hears that I was.
Oh, she will share it, and there you go.
Well, but his mom likes me more than him. Though,
Well, that's what's interesting. When we first started this, I think today's like episode 32 or so. I didn't say that at the beginning, but it's 32 or 33. But when we first started this, when we would have different guests, on, is some of those they would share. And so you would see one have like 300 views, and you knew, that was one where it wasn't just me and Angie and Tim.
Somebody said, well, Brian's knocking it out of the park this week.
Yeah.
Let me tell my friends.
What was the pizzazz in that one? So, but anyway, but yeah, I hope to have you guys on again in the future, but I appreciate you being here with us, and I hope you're awake now and inspired, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.